Good morning. It's Tuesday, August 2nd. We just checked out of our hotel in Pinedale, Wyoming, and we are heading to Jackson for a resupply at the big grocery store there for our upcoming backpacking trip to Yellowstone. We are also going to go to REI, and I'm going to maybe try on some different shoes. I've been hiking in La Sportiva boots for years now, but they've started rubbing my heels a little bit. Nothing major, but just a little uncomfortable. So I did buy a new pair of those this spring to replace, but I think I might just check out some trail runners and see how they feel. Brian's being a great driver. I'm about to start or work on my sweater knitting project that I have going, and we have about an hour and 15-minute drive to Jackson. But it's an overcast day. I would say this is the first day it's been overcast, like when we woke up of our whole trip. So I've thought I usually wear my contacts and my sunglasses, but I thought I'd give my eyes a break and just wear my glasses since I didn't need sunglasses today. What else?
I think that's pretty good. I think I feel like we have like a short turnaround between our last backcountry and this backcountry. I think for future, we're kind of learning as we go. I think it's probably good to have like 2 nights of a hotel, not necessarily back-to-back hotel, but like before we go into Yellowstone backcountry, it would have been nice to have another hotel. Yeah. And we're not going at this time, and that's fine. But I think just for our comfort, I think 2 nights of a hotel in between a week or more backpacking is the way to go, and we'll definitely do that in the future.
Yeah, I think the rest of our stops, my heart's getting tired. The rest of our trip is like that for the most part, but if not, we have enough time that we can kind of look at it and play around with it if we want.
I think we're good. Yeah.
I think we're good. Talk to you later.
What's up, everyone? It is
Tuesday. August 2nd.
Very good. It's about 4 in the afternoon. We just showed up at our next national park. Oh boy. We got cold pizza in the back. We're going to get to our campsite. It's nice, cool, comfortable weather, and we can't wait to get set up and check out Yellowstone. Talk to you later. Well, it's becoming a theme with us. As we were checking in, it just began to rain, and it began to rain harder and harder. And there was basically, you can see we have our tent set up under these trees. So we got real close neighbors right now, but like another site we might use, it was pretty much a river coming down there.
Poor neighbors, it's even worse.
Yeah, so there's like no way that you're gonna put a tent. Look at the way this is flowing. So we're making the best. It's kind of calmed down a little bit right now. Yeah. And so we are gonna have some hot chocolate, some hot coffee, and
then cold pizza.
Lukewarm pizza. I think it might still have some.
But good thing we don't have raw sausages.
Yeah. Although
there's a cafe.
There's a cafe. We wouldn't. We would be fine. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that pizza after a hot beverage. But how about that? More rain, and there was even a
little hail. There was
a little hail on the back of the RAV4 as well. So we're getting pretty used to. This is what Wyoming has been giving us, but it's fun. And our tent is dry now, so that's cool. And we'll maybe check in later, maybe we won't. Good morning. So it's Wednesday, August 3rd. We just left the Yellowstone backcountry permit office. We got to watch the fun video. They go through all the basics, but it was interesting because they had like the thermal area. And I think all the bears they showed were all grizzlies. I saw like the hump on all of them. So that was cool. Our national park campsite tradition of having loud neighbors continues, but we actually did something about it this time. Like all the sites are cramped in, which we expected, but there were like 2 groups, 2 sites, and they were up late. They were super loud. Like 10 o'clock, it's supposed to be quiet hours, and that's fine if you're out later than that, but they were just so loud. And one guy was extra drunk, and there was fighting, and one of the kids was yelling at them constantly, please stop fighting. It was a mess, and it went on for a couple of hours. So first thing we did this morning was we went back to, because we have one more night there, we went back to the office and begged for a new site, and they took mercy on us and gave us a different site in a different loop. So we're super happy about that. We just got our backcountry permit, so now spirits are high again, but I think we'll be taking an afternoon nap because neither of us got much sleep. So there's a whole village compound that we're going to go check out now. Coffee, maybe some tasty breakfast sandwiches, and just a big general store, the whole gamut. So we're going to go check that out. We're going to sip some coffee and just kind of relax after last night. So it's never the weather or the animals or anything else that sometimes makes these trips suck for a little bit. It's always the people. Just some people just aren't considerate, and it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. But we're going to press on, and we're still going to have an awesome time, and that's over, and we're done with it. So on to the coffee, and we'll check in later. So we're at our new campsite. We're letting things dry out. As you can see, we have all of our food and all of our gear out. And we're basically repacking food for 7 nights in the backcountry. So take a little bit of organizing and planning to put it all together, but do it now and we'll have a great time in the backcountry. So that's what we're in the middle of while we're letting our tent and rain fly dry, and then we're gonna make our way towards West Yellowstone and maybe stop at whatever along the way, and get some Subway for the first night or two in the backcountry and see what else is in West Yellowstone. Just check it out. It's about an hour away, but we got all day, so check in later. So we're in West Yellowstone. We did a quick little hour and a half maybe drive. There's some construction in Yellowstone Park, but just to come to West Yellowstone, it's like a very small walkable town, very touristy, but we got some Wi-Fi, we got some coffee, and there is a Subway in town, so we're gonna get some sandwiches for the backcountry. And if we had the time, we could go to Big Gun Fun and shoot the guns you've seen in the movies, which I know Sarah has always wanted to do. So maybe we'll do that on the way out of the backcountry. See you later.
So we happened to get to the Old Faithful Visitor Center right around the same time the guys are supposed to go off. So we're waiting. It has another, 6 minutes?
They give it like a plus or minus 10 minutes, so 5 minutes.
5 more minutes to see if it goes off.
There's a ton of people waiting for it.
But we found a shady bench, so we'll see what happens.
Thought we saw some bubbling water. Oh, here we go. Get ready for the show.
Is that it?
I feel like it might at some point. Like it's just starting. Ooh, wow. Well, we checked Old Faithful off the checkbox, even though neither of us really.
Yeah.
It was just timing that it was going off, so we stuck around. But we've got all our supplies for the backcountry. We've done 2 6-nighters. Now we're potentially doing a 7-nighter, although we put a little wiggle room in where we can cut it down to 6 if we want. We're going back to the campground. Hopefully our neighbors won't be as noisy, as drunk, as argumentative as last night. I think the odds are pretty good, hopefully. But we got cold pizza to reheat. That'll be awesome. Got some salad. Looking forward to just getting back to the campsite and relaxing a little bit before we head back in the backcountry. And I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think we're going to see a lot of wildlife this trip.
Okay.
We really didn't see a ton in Wind River. I saw that herd of elk when I went off, but other than that, so I think we got spoiled by the bears in Grand Teton. So we want some more wildlife, and I think this may be the place. We certainly won't be as high elevation, so that'll be interesting. Hopefully it won't be like super hot. There'll be some shade, but that's all part of the fun. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
So maybe we'll see you back at the campsite, or maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Who knows? It's Wednesday, August 3rd. This will be the last update for today. We're still at the Grant Village campsite.
Just a new campsite.
A new campsite. This site has such a much better vibe than the last one. We got a bunch of families around us. It should be pretty peaceful, quiet evening, having some veggies, having some salad. And then we're gonna fire up at the fire pit, reheat some pizza from Pinky G's. Apparently it was a Diner, Drive-Ins and Dives episode. We found out they got a picture of Guy Fieri on the pizza box. So how about that? Having a tasty, I think my first treehouse, a green, awesome. Reminds me of home. Gonna bring.
I'm finally having wine.
Yep, Sarah finally broke down and got the big Boda box.
It's a brick.
A brick.
It's a smaller one.
Oh, it looked pretty big to me.
Oh,
What
it's
do I
only
know?
2 bottles of wine instead of 4.
And how are you going to carry that in the backcountry?
Into Ziploc bags and hope for the best.
So there you
I've
go.
done it before.
Yeah, and I'll have the beers in the bear canister. That'll keep them relatively cold. But I think we really didn't do anything today except drive around, walk around, see Old Faithful.
See a bison.
See a couple bison.
2, maybe the same one.
There was one bison walking on the road. Sarah took the video. Traffic was backed up for a quarter mile, and that bison was just moseying on down the road. There's nothing you could do, and they're huge. I mean,
It's like the size of a car.
if we see one in the backcountry, I mean, they're like. I thought seeing a moose in the backcountry was big. These bison are huge, so that'll be fun. But yeah, it's cool in the shade. It's going to be a pretty peaceful night. I think we're both going to get a decent night's sleep. We don't not like setting an alarm or anything tomorrow. We have like 8 miles, 10 miles, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of elevation change. It doesn't get that high up here. We looked for the tallest mountain on the map, and I think we got to 10,000. So should be interesting.
Near where we're going.
But it's a very interesting backpacking route we have, because it actually, in the route, it's designed for you to go off trail. Now bushwhacking out here is not like bushwhacking in New England, but that's kind of cool, right? We're gonna go off trail to get to our backcountry campsite, and that's a lot of fun. I think that's gonna be a unique part of this backpack.
And I think it'll be different. I think there will be other people at our campsites too.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
that'll be nice to see different people, kind of like Glacier. It's kind of
right.
nice to see who you meet.
So maybe I'll bring an extra beer or two and share the treehouse love. Hopefully they like IPAs. Yeah, so that'll be fun. So we're just kind of relaxing. It's like 6 o'clock right now. We were up early. We didn't get a lot of sleep.
There's a bug flying around.
That was the one thing I was going to mention. This is like, fingers crossed, but it's been a while now. We're not getting swarmed by mosquitoes or any bugs, really.
Just one very large one that was flying.
So maybe the secret is not being near water. I don't know, or be at lower elevation.
One of my colleagues that I worked with at St. Paul's, her daughter lives in Montana, and I was texting with her, and she said that they had a very wet and rainy spring, which has made the mosquitoes very bad around here.
Okay, but here there are none.
So this is good, yeah.
It's crazy. We usually they'd be all over us.
They would be in the tent.
They'd be in the tent. They'd be in between the rain fly and the tent. They'd be everywhere. So this is like so relaxing, and just this is what car camping is all about.
Yes.
So we're gonna sign off. We'll be at some point in the morning. We'll be breaking everything down and bringing the leftover cold pizza, the Subway sandwiches, and everything else for 7 nights in the backcountry. And we were saying this is our last brand new backcountry visit everywhere else we're going, we've been to before, you know, at least some of the areas. So I'm really excited to see what Yellowstone has to offer as far as the backcountry goes, because I really wasn't super excited about it. But now that we're here and we've seen some of the wildlife, I'm hoping we see a lot more of that in the backcountry.
We're also camping right near a bear management area that just opened back up. So earlier in July, no one in June and like the spring, no one's allowed to hike there.
Yeah.
So now you're allowed to hike there between, I want to say it was like 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. So we're not camping in the area, we're just near it. So we could kind of go explore.
Right. And the other cool thing, first time ever, quicksand. We have a quicksand warning.
About quicksand.
So we have to make sure we don't get in the quicksand because that could be a bad day.
Yes.
So some unique challenges in Yellowstone, but it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I think that's good. We're signing off. We're enjoying some brews and wine, and we'll see you in the morning.